Right, I'm going to do a downtown walk today. Unfortunately, due to the severe forest fire situation we have going on at the moment, I was out in the mountains yesterday and oh my goodness, it was dry, insanely dry. That most of the provincial parks and what have you in Canada, in Alberta at the moment, are completely closed. They've closed them all off, and I don't blame them either. Ours are still open down this neck of the woods, but to be quite honest, I was out there yesterday and it was so dry, literally so dry. Where I was about 10-12 kilometers out in the middle of nowhere, and last thing the fire people need is to have thousands of people out in the boonies out in the middle of nowhere. Should a forest fire situation occur, then you know, evacuating people shouldn't be the priority. It should be getting the bloody fire out. They don't need to be chasing people all over the mountains trying to find them. So I'm going to do a city walk instead. But we'll come along this way. I always like to do along here. This is rather nice area. Now all the trees are out. It's nice, eh? All the leaves are out. That's nice for downtown there. Yeah, very nice. Yeah. Right, I'm going to head along the top and down the steps and go from there. Or should I go up along the top? Oh, I've got dilemma now. I quite often go down that way. That takes you straight down into downtown. I'll tell you what I do. I'll go along the top way first. There's a little secret pathway up here that only me and a million other people know. I'm going to get this picture up here because I do like this bit up here. Take the scenic route. Make very nice steps across here. Blossoms are out on the trees, so I'm trying to catch some of the blossoms if I can. See if we can get a few of them in there before they all blow off. They're all blowing off here really, really fast. Literally, there's clouds of them coming off the tree already. But that is unfortunately the thing. We get amazing trees with the flowers on and stuff, but they're very, very short-lived. So I am going to head along this way. I'll show everybody where the secret path is that only a million other people know. The Carriganas have got their yellow flowers on for now. That's rather nice, eh? That's the only thing with Calgary. Yeah, if you want to get pictures of the blossoms on the trees, you've got to do it quick. Because once a windstorm comes through, that's it, it's gone. Yeah. Right. So that is downtown Calgary. Right along here, this is the secret path that only me and a million other people know. I'm going to head up over that other side over there in a minute. But I didn't really want to walk down the road and up, so I'll go this way. Yes, literally, I think yeah, I've got to change the plans here. So we'll do that walk along there, and I'm going to cut up through the trees this way. Yeah, I was going to go a different route, and I suddenly thought, nah, because we're coming into mosquito season. So I have put some bug spray on, but that is one thing with it being hot and dry, is the mosquitoes are way down. However, yes, this is a rather nice little walk along here. Even though one of the busiest roads in Calgary is just literally just off to my left, but you don't really hear that much of it, which is nice. Not much traffic on it yet because it's only just past sunrise on a Sunday morning, so most normal sensible people are probably still in bed. The not so sensible people are out making videos walking around Calgary. Yeah. But it certainly makes for a pleasant walk, and it's soft too. There is a very nice path just through there, but it's tarmac, so I would rather walk along this one. Those people that follow my videos and what have you, I have a little bit of a leg injury going on at the moment, so that's the other reason why I'm not leaping around the mountains. But, I think my physio would go nuts if I was jumping around in the mountains. Gentle walks only for the next little while. And the forest fire risk out there at the moment is so extreme. Like I say, I was out in the middle of nowhere yesterday, literally right out in the middle of nowhere, and you could smell the forest was hot. That you sneeze at a tune, it's going to catch fire. It was really bad. So best to stay out the mountains. That way, should anything happen, nobody has to come and find me. Yeah. Right, that's a rather nice walk along there. Let's see. Very nice, eh? Right, I will switch this off till I get up the other side. Right, I'm going to head on downtown. See, I got to where I was going, but I didn't have to go all the way down the hill and all the way back up. I took the easy route around the top, which is always nice. Right, I'm going to head on up along that way. I'll do some more once I get out of the trees here. Anybody that visits Calgary, if you want a really good view of the city, this is where you come. Head up the top. This is a cool bluff, they call it, or Crescent Heights. A lot of people call it Crescent Heights because it is technically Crescent Heights. But a cool bluff. So down at the bottom there where that bridge is, that is the bridge, the footbridge that goes across into Prince's Island Park. I'll probably head down through there in a minute. And that is downtown Calgary. I can see it's very hazy out in the mountains, very hazy. I can hardly see the mountains actually. Normally you can see them clear as a bell from here, but it's very hazy. We've got all this forest fire smoke, so I will take this for now, and then I will head downtown. Now this is where I need my other camera, because I'm just looking at the sunlight on the side of the Bow building there. That's that big curved building with the crisscrossy bits on it. That's the Bow building. That'll make a nice picture right there. This view all along here is really, really nice, really popular spot. There's a set of steps up here that are very popular with the fitness brigade. But I'm going to head up and along that way. Right. I'm going to do the stairs here. I'm coming down the stairs, I'm not going to go up the stairs. At the moment I'm finding going downstairs not too bad, and upstairs is a real pain at the moment. If anybody's interested, there are 157 stairs in this staircase, and I have seen people running up and down these stairs literally the entire day. Alright. I think this is the slowest I've ever walked down these steps. You can cut back across that way. That lady I just passed her at the top of the hill as well, so she's obviously doing the loop. A lot of people use these as a loop. When COVID was on, they had these stairs as a one-way system. I think you could come down the stairs, but you weren't allowed up, and you had to go around the other way, which is fine. A lot of people turn them into loops anyway. Right, so we are down. Excellent. This new building off to the side here, I noticed there's a nice new mural on the wall here, so I will get a picture of that. This is one of the many pumping stations that they've put in since we had the floods in 2013. Because one of the problems here is there's actually a big river underneath here. One of the problems, that's a nice picture, eh? Very nice. One of the problems that we found was the water couldn't flow out of these rivers into the main river because it was too high. So that became a bit of a pain. So there was nowhere for the water to go. So consequently, everything backed up and flooded. There was nowhere for it to drain to. The river was just too high. So now they have this pumping station so they can actually pump the rivers out. And they built a whole string of these all the way along. It's, I noticed a new one being built further up near the Peace Bridge too. If you want a really nice walk into downtown, this is where you come. And we're going to go up and over the footbridge. There's a nice suspension bridge here. come down in the summer when the water's actually warm, which is not too often, they have rafting places here, and they set off upstream to a place called Baker Park, and they go up to Baker, and they do the boats from Baker Park. Now you can walk down that way, off down to Peace Bridge and what have you. Peace Bridge is in the distance over there, but this is actually a really nice walk into downtown. Suspension bridge comes all the way across into the park. It's actually very nice. When people run over this bridge, you can actually feel it bouncing in a minute. Oh, it's starting to green up nicely. River's flying high, eh? The river is full. That's a good shot of the river, yeah. Can't see anybody fishing. It's a bit early yet, Sunday morning. A bit early yet. But if you come rafting from Baker Park, just down there, where you can see those steps coming through there, on the side, that like down ramp, that's where you can get out. You can get out there. So it shows you how high the water is, because I walked through there the other week and you could actually walk straight through, so the river's up a couple of foot. You have to keep a close eye on flows in the mountains, because I can tell you now, it can go from very nice to full-on flood in no time whatsoever. And since there's a lot of water in the river, I suspect they're expecting some rain in the mountains, which is good. We'll take it. With the current forest fire situation, we will take it. Right, I'll do some more in a moment. I'm going to head down into the park. Now in the summer, over on this side, they quite often have little theatrical things. They built a stage down in the bottom here. It's called Shakespeare in the Park. They quite often do that down in here. Go down to the bottom there, and they'll put seating up on the bank there. So they do the Shakespeare in the Park thing. So that's good. This park is an absolute gem. It's literally right, and you can see it's right in the middle of downtown. Uh-oh, we got a goose on patrol. You've got to watch some of these buggers. I tell you, especially if there's young around, they could be a little bit on the protective side, so I will give them a wide berth. These are Canadian lawnmowers. They don't miss a beat, these guys, I tell you. Nice new trees gone in. Need to put some beaver guards around those. Yeah. Once it warms up just a little touch more, we're still getting some cold overnights. So once we get into the really good overnight temperatures, they plant all this lot up with flowers. You literally come back in here. So these ones down here, they got a lot of young with them. So I don't know whether I'm going to go that way. What do you reckon? You reckon that's safe? Let's find out. Yeah. For this time of year, you will find loads and loads of them all over. Oh, go on in. There's two more there. Yeah, I'm watching. Not going to get near it, I know. Don't start hissing at me. I'm over here. Yeah. You just go over there and cut the grass. Yeah. That's why we don't need to cut the grass here, because these guys will do it for you. And they're incredibly good at it. They'll take it down to literally 1/4 inch. Yes, like I was saying, once the overnights warm up to a state where they're going to be continuously warm overnight, then they will fill up all the flower beds and that with flowers, and suddenly, boom, it's all full of colour. Yeah. But the blossoms on the trees are nice, look, see? Very nice. I usually go along that way, so let's come this way instead. See what I mean about the blossoms? If you don't get down here quick, see the chairs covered and it's gone already. Yeah, good gust of wind and they disappear. I notice we've got some tulips in the flower beds over there, so that's nice. river calf. It's very nice food in there. Very nice food. So looking very nice along here with the rocks and the trees and that now. Just want to have a look at this tree. This tree came down, well, this one dropped a few years ago, and people said, oh, why aren't they taking it out? Why aren't they taking it out? Well, if you look at the tree, I mean, it's still alive, it's covered in green, it's just going to grow and they're just going to leave it like that. Because what it does is it creates habitat underneath it for all kinds of bugs and insects and stuff. It gives the ducks and the birds somewhere to hide, and it's a good bit of shade. Not sure what that is. No, it's got a different shaped beak. Not sure what that is. I have to look it up when I get home. And it provides shade along the water. The water temperature is crucial for fish and stuff like that. It doesn't take much of a temperature change before it becomes an issue. So. It's very nice down this way. All the geese are waking up. Right, so we'll get back up on the path. And head on down this way. We've got some more trees in there too. Oh, nice. So, yeah. There's been a lot of tree planting going on in Calgary because we lost quite a few in the floods. A lot of them got, like, trees like water, but they don't like being drowned, you know what I mean? So we did lose a few in the floods, and if you get heavy storms come through, you can get a thing called wind rock, and big tall trees, they rock backwards and forwards so much it can loosen up the soil. Lets too much air into the soil around the roots, and you can get root die off. But wind rock is not a good thing. As you can see, geese are very vocal, especially this time of the morning. Best of luck ever sneaking up on these guys, I tell you. If you can sneak up on one of these geese, mate, you've got to be really, really good. It's like a million pairs of eyes watching you. They're all over the show. You think the internet is fast? I tell you, Canadian goose, mate, they're all over it. Yeah, they put a whole bunch of new ones over there. Look, I can see a whole bunch of new trees over there too. On the other side there, on the bank, a lot of those trees are new. Oh, that's nice to see. Well done. Yeah. We did lose a hell of a lot when they had to redo the pathway over there, because they basically had to raise it, raise the berm there so that we didn't have any more flooding getting into the city up this end. But had to be done. See, these are all new trees. What have we got in here? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 new trees in there. That's nice to see. Over here in the summer, they have all kinds of concerts and things over in here. There's a big stage there, the NMAX stage. They do like the Calgary Folk Festival and all that kind of stuff. Ah, there's one of our squirrels. We have black squirrels. Yeah, there are red squirrels here, grey squirrels here, and mostly in town you'll find these black squirrels. Yeah. Lesser spotted fluffy-tailed tree rats, as they call them. Yeah. Like I say, they have all kinds of, like the folk festival and everything all takes place down in here. So that's good. Right. Okay, we'll switch this off for a minute, and I'll do some more in a moment. There's that duck thing out there again. I'm not sure what that is. I need to look that up. A lot of willows along here. Willows are very important for stability of the banks and creating habitat and what have you. They grow really, really fast and they love water, so can't odds that. Yeah, very important plants. The more greenery you can have in the city, the better. This is where a lot of cities let themselves down. They don't appreciate the impact that trees have. You know, if you walk through a park like this, it's an amazing place to be, and people would rather be in amongst the trees like this, simply because that's the way we've always been. You know, we live amongst the trees. A lot of cities, unfortunately, all they see is dollars per square foot for real estate, and bury everything under concrete. Well, once it's buried under concrete, it's gone. Sorry, you just lost a very valuable part of the city. So, yes, a few millionaires might make an extra few millions, and that's all they care about. But at the end of the day, the quality of life in that city becomes garbage. So nobody wants to live there. So then your investment becomes nothing. If you stuff in a whole bunch of trees, there's a community a little way west of here, a place called Cochrane. Little town. I say little town. Years and years ago it was a little town. Now it's huge. But there's an area there. If you go through there, a friend of mine lives out that way, out in Heartland. And if you go there, every street covered in trees. There's so many trees. It's amazing. Absolutely amazing. And what makes it a very desirable place to live is the fact that there are trees everywhere. There's the Peace Bridge over there. Anybody that follows my pictures will be very familiar with that. Yeah. Let's decide on which way I'm going to go now. More scooters. You either love these things or you hate them. I'm not a great fan of these things, I must admit. People like them, so you know that's good. Good for them. Get it all done. Get them out. Get them, gets people moving. Gets people going around the city. And that has to be a good thing. So I will cut up through this way. Good grief, how many scooters? That's what I don't like about the scooters. See? There's a whole bunch of scooters there laying on their side, dumped. That's obviously where they ran out of time or whatever it is they build these things out at. But I think you pay a set amount. Look at all the petals falling off the tree, all the blossom. Amazing. Yes, I can see you. Exactly. Yeah. These all fill up with nice plants. If you look in here, there's veggies and that in here as well. See the rhubarb in there? Yeah. That's good rhubarb. Yeah. Right, so along here, this is one of the 1,000 kilometres of cycleways in Calgary. But people say we don't have any decent cycleways in Calgary. There's well over 1,000 kilometres now. I think my estimate is actually off. If I get chance, I'll say if I get chance, I know I'm going to end up there. There's a place up here called Mountain Equipment Co-op, and every time I come downtown I end up going in there, and it always costs me money every time I go in there. They sell all kinds of fantastic outdoor gear. So I'm going to walk along this way and do some more. Let's get off the cycle track. If you look, see we have walkways and cycle tracks. So if there's a walkway, always try to use a walkway. Leave the bikes for the bikes, and everything flows really good. We have amazing cycleways here in Calgary. There's people I know that commute all year round, summer, winter, doesn't matter, minus 30, they're still on their bikes, because the city does a really good job of making sure that all these cycleways are cleared. They're these amazing little snow pusher blower things with brushes on them and all that kind of good stuff. And they always say, yeah, you can come do my house if you want. Take them about 30 seconds to do my place. So but they do keep all the cycleways and they're open in the winter, so that is nice. Just makes for it's a very outdoor city. Calgary's a very outdoor city. Right, so I'm going to switch that off there for a second, and I'll do some more a bit further up. Right. I've done that picture a few times. Always makes a nice picture. Some nice walkways around here. So this is the Bow River Pathway, one of the main rivers. They've got a pathway. The south side looks pretty much like this. The north side, there is a pathway down the other side, but it doesn't have the big separate cycle lane like this one on it. But I prefer to walk down this side. More trees this side too. We really do need to add more trees the other side. We really do. Quite often I head into downtown that way. There's a nice little subway shop at the bottom of there's two towers there with the blue roofs, and there's a nice little subway shop down the bottom of there. So quite often I'll nip in there for a bite to eat. Yeah, really nice people. Right, I'm going to cut across and do some pictures of the bridges over here. A, because this is much nicer to walk on. Yeah. But also the sun on the bridges should make some nicer pictures along here. So you go from city to scrubland. Morning. Morning. You go from city to scrubland along here. Uh-oh, more guard dogs. We got guard geese. Yeah, I can see you. Yeah, exactly. Like I say, best of luck ever sneaking up on those guys. Yeah. Morning. This is one of the bridges that I like to take pictures of. This is what's called the LRT bridge. Oh look, tower crane. Another tower crane over there, that's a new one. Yeah. As I've said in many of my videos, I have lived here for decades now, and I have never ever seen the city with no cranes in it. I just spotted a log floating downstream here. This gives you an idea how fast this water is going. See the log out in the water there? Now that water, I can tell you now, I guarantee you that water is 4 degrees. If I brought a thermometer with me, I guarantee you that's 4 degrees. The reason for that is that's fresh snow melt. When water first melts, it's literally 4 degrees. Normally you can walk along here really easily, so this gives you an idea of how high up the river is. Normally there's a very easy gap along here. Not so much at the moment. Now if you're into surfing, there is a standing wave that they built up here. They put a bunch of rocks in the river, and they made a standing wave, and people will come up here and they practice their surfing and what have you here. I'll show you where that is. That's just up here. Like I say, normally I can walk along the bottom there. Yeah. I wonder if they're expecting a big influx of water in the mountains, because this river, although this looks like natural flow, a lot of this is actually controlled flow, and the reason they do that is lots and lots of hydro upstream from here. It's all down through here. That's actually running really fast. I'm not sure I'd want to be practicing my surfing out in that. Yeah. That water is actually flowing over the top of the rock. Right in front of me here, you can see where it's starting to pick up there. That little, yeah, there is actually, that's where the standing wave is. And it's, yeah, I don't think you'd want to be doing that at the moment. That water is flowing fast. Listen to that. Yeah, I don't think I'd want to be in there at the moment. You wouldn't last long in that water. Yeah. You would not last long in there at all. Right, I'm going to continue on my way. Can't turn the camera around that way because I'll be straight into the sunshine. So I will continue on my way. I'm going to head into downtown just up here. I came along here many years ago, and it's I'll show you where the ice was. There's my pole. The ice was about 3 feet off this pathway in the bottom here. This was literally full of ice. So it just shows you how much ice we can get in the winter. Yeah. That is flowing fast. I'm not sure I'd want to be rafting down that today. You can do the rafting, like I say. And a lot of people do in the summer. They'll come along here and they do all the rafting and that down through here. Fantastic. From Baker Park upstream, it's about 2 hours-ish to get to here, depending on the flow. I think with this amount of flow, that might be a very quick 2 hours. That might more be like an hour and a bit. Yeah. But yes, flowing very, very quick. But that's good though. Between here and the far end of all of this section of the river, if you like, for power generation, depending on which way the river flows, either through Spray Lakes or through the Bow River, it travels through basically 7 hydro power stations to get here. So all this water that you see here has been generating electricity for ages now, days and days and days. So it's come through 7 power stations to get to here. So that's good. Clean energy. Once they're built, they're generating power. That's good. Right, I'm going to continue on my way. Right, I'm going to head into downtown. Oh, bendy bus. We have these articulated buses. I call them bendy buses. I can't remember what their real name is, but they're very good. We have several forms of transit here in Calgary. We have obviously the normal trains, normal buses. We have the bendy buses. See that one says red on the back? That's the red line, and that's part of what they call the BRT, which is the bus rapid transit. We have normal buses, we have the LRT, light rail transit, then we have the BRT routes, which are the bendy buses. I'm sure their name is not bendy bus, but whatever works. Right, looks like we've got a road closed here. Somebody digging a hole. Not sure what they're doing there. Something to do with the train tracks by the look of it. These sculptures here, I'm really not sure what these are. Yeah. They're like big spidery things to me. Really not quite sure what they are, but they look pretty cool. We'll do a picture of those. Yeah. Yes, I'm not sure what they're doing there. Most of the train work and what have you, they try to do on the weekends, especially this weekend because it is a long weekend, so there's not going to be so many people using transit and stuff. Now, once we get into downtown, once we get onto the 7th Avenue as it's called, once we get down to there, the transit is free from one end of the city to the other. So anything on 7th is basically free. So if I want to go down to Olympic Plaza, which is the far end of the free zone, I could just hop on a train. Doesn't cost me nothing. Yeah. So for getting around downtown, it's actually perfect. Right, well, there's no cars coming, so it's Sunday morning, as you can see, really, really busy. Yeah. Always make sure you wait for the light. Yeah, the light's going to change now anyway. Loads and loads of parking all over Calgary. Parking places are everywhere. The only thing I would say with Calgary parking, and if Calgary parking is watching this video, please take note, the cost of parking in Calgary is insane. Absolutely ridiculous. It's on par with New York City. I kid you not. You know, that is one thing that so many people have mentioned to me. Why is it so expensive to park in Calgary? I don't know. They've got used to charging that amount of money. They think that's what it's worth. It is not. They need to seriously revamp that. They're always saying, you know, how do we get, oh, there's 2 bendy buses in a row. Yeah, right. They're always saying, you know, how do we get people to come downtown? How do we get people to shop downtown? Well, one of the ways of doing that is to actually make it cheaper for people to come downtown. You know, it's all very well, but if you outprice something, people won't use it, and that's exactly what they did. They outpriced the trains and that, parking, sorry, downtown. And their answer will be, well, you can always use the trains, which you can, yeah. I'll cross the street if there's nothing coming, but when there is actually something coming, and I know that the light's going to change here in 3 seconds, I'm not gonna risk it. Yeah. Now I need to get over there on the corner. See, light changed, unfinished, easy, isn't it? Now, anybody that likes a really nice breakfast, there is a place down here. It's one of Calgary's little hidden gems, and I'll show you where it is as long as you promise not to tell anybody. Right. If it gets too busy, I might not be able to get in there all the time. Right. So you come down here. They do really nice food in there. Super nice people do really nice food in there, and it's a really good price actually as well. Yeah. Down here. They actually have an outdoor patio here. It's called Break the Fast. Like breakfast, break the fast. That in there, they do really, really nice food. Super nice people too. Yeah. Good place to come if you want a nice breakfast in a nice little spot. Break the Fast. Right there. Yeah, just don't tell anybody, otherwise it will get way too busy and then I won't be able to get in there. Yeah. Oh, that's good timing. Right, this road here that I'm crossing, this is 7th Avenue. So anywhere down this road, station up there, anywhere down along here, all the way through the city, right to the other end, which is many blocks down that way, is all free. Yeah, you can travel through there, no problem. Yeah, and it's free all the time. So you don't have to pay. It's called the free fare zone, so you don't have to pay down there. So I'm gonna head on down this way. There we go. Right, we better change battery out. Apologies for that. Right, so the all along here we have this ticket thing that it's like news from years and years ago from the papers. And as you can see, there's a CP train over there, hiding behind the railings there, but they have those old news stories from Calgary and what have from years and years ago. When was this one? 1896. It's really good. It's from the Herald of 1896, May 18th. It's really cool. So they change it by the day, so it's actually really, really good. So I'm going to head down that building over there with a green sign on it. That's Mountain Equipment Co-op. They don't open till 10, so I will take a shortcut. There are many walkways and what have you. One of the problems with Calgary is the train track runs right through the middle of it. Yeah, and people might not think that's a problem. However, the crossing the train track can be a pain in the rear end, because there's only a certain amount of places that you can actually cross, right, to get from one side to the other. And this is one of them. This is one of the older ones. They are revamping all of these. They're all getting updates and all being changed out. This one's pretty old. As you can see, it's still braced wrought iron for a little bit. I'm assuming that's what that is. But, they are replacing all of these with much more modern structures, much more pleasant structures, let's put it that way. So as you can see, all of this is changing through here. So that's where I'm going, that building over there. Many of the downtown bikeways used to be parking lanes on the side of the roads. That's what they did, is they took out the parking lane and put in these cycleways all around. So they gave you extra lanes, extra capacity, I guess. So I'm going to head down this way. Down here somewhere, there's Lockheed House, which is a very nice old house here. It used to belong to one of the premiers of Alberta. I can't remember where it is. I know it's down this way somewhere. If I wander around, I'm looking for a big pile of trees. There's some trees over there. I'm not sure that's it. No, that doesn't look right. Oh, this is 17th, is it? 17th? There's lots of little parks and what have you in Calgary, which is really nice. Loads of little parks in Calgary. Some older buildings over there. There's a map over there. I don't know if I can get over to the map. Better getting run over. There we go. What have we got on here? There we go. Right. Checked out the map. I now know where Lockheed House is. It's actually behind me. I am going the wrong way. But there's a building over in here. A lot of these older buildings, they were kept, which is really nice. I can't remember what this one is, which is why I'm coming to have a look. One of the really nice old buildings in Calgary, it really is. A lot of these were old schools, as you can see. Back in the day, that was the girls' entrance, I guess. And I'm willing to betcha. Up the other end, you'll find that's the boys' entrance. That was one of the old schools here in Calgary. I can't read the sign because it's buried in the bush. Right. So that's the boys' entrance right there. Yeah. So, not sure what this building is called. I cannot find. There is a sign, but I can't read it because, unfortunately, it's buried in the bush. So that is one of the very old schools in Calgary. There's lots of them, and they've all been converted into other buildings. But fortunately, they have been kept. So I'm going to head down to Lockheed House, which I know is down that way towards the sun. So I will turn this camera off until I get there. Right, this is Lockheed House. This is where Peter Lockheed used to live many years ago. This was his downtown residence, which is, as you can see, still well looked after. They do actually do tours and that through here, which is nice. The looks like they dug a trench through here recently, so I will follow that rather than squashing the grass. Yeah. This is quite the building. It's really nice in there. But, they do open days in there every now and again. You can go in and have a look around and stuff. There is a restaurant-y thing in there, which is rather nice. But, all underneath here, through the gardens. This was the old driveway, I guess, to the house. Yeah, that is Lockheed House. These are all the gardens that went with it. They had one of the open houses in there one time. Right, my walk continues. I'm going to go a different way. A lot of bigger buildings down this end of the city, which is good because it increases population density rather than just keep spreading out. As I said in one of my videos the other day, Calgary city footprint is actually bigger than New York. People, whenever I say that to people, they don't believe me, but it's actually 42 square kilometres bigger, the city of Calgary's footprint, than New York is. So you would automatically think New York would be better, but it's bigger. It's not. We are 42 square kilometres bigger than New York. So instead of keep sprawling out, what they're trying to do is go up a little more, increase population density. So you will see down in the East Village, we'll end up going down through there on the way back, down through the East Village. They put in a lot of tower blocks and that down there, which increases the population, but they're also trying to make a walkable area. Like they're getting away from this "you need your car to go everywhere" garbage to having walkable communities. So everything's in the community that you need. Like if you go to East Village at the moment, there's a superstore in there, there's all the restaurants, clubs, bars, whatever you want is all down in there, so which is good. You come to some of the older areas, which is like where I am now, there's a lot of schools and all kinds of stuff down in here. Ah, Red's Diner, here we go. This is another one of Calgary's best kept secrets. Yeah, that place in there, Red's, good place for breakfast, really good place. Yeah. This building here was a Rose and Crown, and it used to be all nice and black and white, but really, really good. And then they painted the whole building grey for whatever reason. Lost a lot of its character as far as I'm concerned. So, one thing you may have noticed on my walk around is there has been a huge explosion around Calgary of artwork, like these building murals and what have you. They're everywhere, they're popping up all over, which is really great to see. Look at that one, that's really nice. This is the Elbow River. There's plenty of places here you can just go up along the side and around. See what the lilacs are out. This takes you down into the park. This is the Elbow River, one of the many bridges. Alright. As you can see, it's flowing. This one's pretty good too. Yeah. There's quite a few fish in this one. Not as many as the Bow River. The Bow River is way more fish habitated, because this one tends to rise and fall quite a lot. There are fish in here, but if I had a choice between sitting with a rod on the side of one of the rivers, I'd go and sit next to the Bow River. This one you're not likely to find so much. So, yeah. Alright. Yeah, this is a nice walk down through the park. Been down through here a few times on my videos. But, that water's up too. Walk down through the side, and then I can cut up round on my loop. Again, this is all downtown Calgary. You know, people think of a city as all being just great big buildings and yeah, all kinds of concrete and crap and nothing. But that's one thing. We do have the urban forest project, which means every house has to have a tree, or you can get a shrub package depending on whether there's utilities in the ground and stuff. But all down through here, there's very nice walkways and parks. The city has quite a few parks. We could actually do with some more, less concrete, more parks, always good. There was, down here somewhere, if it's still here, a rather nice bench to have a sit. Down here somewhere. Let's see if it's still here. Yeah, there used to be a bench here. Let's see if there still is. Oh yes, there is. Yeah. And that there is the Elbow River. Now in the height of the floods, when all this flooded, I'd have been under about 10 feet of water. I kid you not. Those buildings over there that you see, all of these buildings down on this side, well, literally the bottom floor was full of water. That's how much water there was here. This whole park that I'm stood in here, this would have been way underwater. Everything here was underwater. Yeah. So it actually became a huge flooding issue over that side. Really bad. Yeah. But this entire park was underwater. I'm not sure what the total depth was here. I'm trying to see if I can see any of the river wash. All the scrub gets washed up against the trees. Let's see if I can find some of that, and that will give you an indication of just how deep the water was here. But literally, I'd have been under 8 to 10 feet of water here. Yeah. And people say, how bad was the flooding? Well, let me tell you, it was bad. Yeah. Hopefully, with all the measures that are put in place now, hopefully we won't have that happen again, he says. Touch wood. Yeah. Right, I'm going to cut down through the middle of the park here, I think, because I don't really want to go all the way around. So I will cut down through the middle of the park. Okay, that's a nice walk down through there. So the pathway goes on way on down that way. I'm not going to go that way today. I'm actually going to cut through the middle of here. And, save going all the way around. Lots of people out and about enjoying the park already. I'm going to cut across the middle, because although I don't mind walking a reasonable distance, walking on tarmac, I find it actually harder than walking in the mountains. Like I say, I'd much rather be out in the mountains today, but because of the current fire risk and what have you, I'm not sure that's particularly wise. Not that we have any major wildfires burning close to where I go, but should one start, that would be a major issue getting out of there. Okay, this is a very nice park. A lot of people come down here for photography and stuff. There's a sports centre, big sports centre off to the side. It's called the Talisman Centre now, I think they call it. But, can't think what it used to be called. Anyway, a lot of people come down here, do a lot of photography and stuff. I'm just looking to see which way the path goes on this side. I think I'll go this way. There's an old bridge down through here. What I don't want to do is be the other side of McLeod Trail. If I find myself on the other side of McLeod Trail, I have a very long walk to get back to where I want to be, and I don't really want to walk that far. So, but again, Calgary, lots of parks, lots of nice places to be. Yeah. And down through here, this route that I'm actually following down through here is part of one of the original railway tracks that came into downtown Calgary. In fact, I think that's the bridge I can see down there now. This was the train track that I'm walking along. If you look, it's on an embankment on the side there, and the reason that that's there is because this was the original train station many moons ago. And down here across the bridge, they still actually have some of the original railway track still there. Yeah, I've done this picture down through here a few times. Anybody that follows my videos and pictures will recognise this spot coming up. Yeah, if I go off to my right, I have a very long walk, and I don't really want to do that today, so I will go this way. As you can see, there's some of the old railway track, and this was Calgary's original railway station. Yeah. Let's walk along the boardwalk. Just a nicer walk along. Easier on the feet. Yeah. And this is the Elbow River. Some people do rafting down the Elbow. Personally, I think the better river is actually the Bow River. Because coming down through areas like this, it's pretty flat. Yeah, not a huge depth of water down through there, as you can see. So if I was going to do rafting, I'd rather come down through the Bow River than the Elbow. And this building in front of me, not the white one, but the one behind it, that was the original railway station for Calgary. Here we are, end of the line, right there. Yeah. Yes, that was Calgary's original railway station. Oh God, a whole pile of people coming up here. Right, let me turn this off for a bit. Okay, that was way too many people. Yeah, right. Yes, like I say, that was the original railway station in Calgary. Still there. It's actually a ballet studio now, which is good to see that it's still being used. Still has the original platform and everything the other side. It's really cool. In fact, while I'm here, might as well nip over there. I was going to come down that side, but that was just way too many people. Yeah. Yes, this was the old station. Like I say, it's now the ballet. If you come up this side, you can actually see the old platform. went along here, this was the original platform for Calgary's first railway station. And this is where the line ended. This was the end of the line right there. That was it. Can't remember where it went from here out of the city, but off down there over the bridge and through what's now Lindsay Park. So, right, I'm going to continue on into downtown so I don't have to do a great big massive loop. As I was saying, getting across the city through the railway tracks can be an issue, and this is another one of the places that kind of bottlenecks. They are redoing all this, hence they've got it all closed off on one side there. This one is scheduled for replacement as well. So they are supposed to be redoing all of these. This is another old one. It's a bit of construction in here. Yeah. Right, and we are now on the other side of the train tracks, as they say, heading into downtown to get more scooters. Yeah. Once you get this side, it's this is First Street. Once you get this side, it's completely different. See, that's a nice, nice old building. This is the downtown railway track. Is actually in the train station. Is actually in the bottom of the Calgary Tower, believe it or not. So, should you ever catch a passenger train from Calgary, which would be extremely rare because they don't run too many, yeah, why I don't know, but they don't, yeah, you'll actually catch the train from Calgary Tower. Right, this hotel off to my right here, just going to get down side the road, get a better view. This hotel off to the right, this is the Fairmont. And over there you can see the Calgary Tower. This is that's where the train station is, around behind all that lot. Yeah. So, not that we have really what I would call anything like a train service here in Calgary. I have no idea why. It's been proposed many times, but for whatever reason we never really get it done. Yeah. So that there is the Fairmont Calgary there, and I'm going to head on down into downtown this way. Right, I'm back over this side of the track there. That funny shaped building there, that's the Telesky building. All kinds of really cool buildings downtown here. Lots of these big skyscrapers. Most of these are energy companies, oil companies and what have you. Very busy place. Yeah, that's a weird shaped building, that one over there, eh? That's Telesky. That all lights up at night. They've got all these fancy LEDs on there and all that kind of good stuff. These bridges that you'll see across the street here, they're all over the city. They're everywhere. There's another one over there. They're all different, but they all interconnect. That's called the +15 system. So basically you can walk around in the middle of winter. There's all these access points all over the show. They're everywhere. All hooked up to the parking lots and buildings and all kinds of stuff. And the idea of that is that you can actually walk around the entire city in the winter pretty much, downtown, without ever going outside. That's the whole idea. Yeah, it actually works very well. Sadly on the weekends a lot of it's closed up because it does actually run through private buildings and what have you. There's another bridge down there. I've walked through that one many times. But what have we got occurring here? Right, we're good to go. Downtown Calgary. Trying to avoid the sun getting on the camera there, see if I can do that. See if I can get down this way. There we go. Right, so that's the Bow building. That like goldy coloured building there, that's the one that has the aeroplane hanging out the roof. There's a full-size bush plane hanging out the roof in that building. That's really cool. I've done that picture a few times. Yeah. There's loads of oil companies and what have you, as you can imagine. Alberta's a major producer of oil and gas. And everybody's like, oh, it's terrible, leave it in the ground and all that kind of stuff. And you hear all this garbage that people talk. They don't realise that burnables, which is what people only ever think about, burnables in oil and gas are, yes, okay, they're a problem, but there are alternatives, there's better ways of doing it. However, every single thing that I'm looking at right now, everything, including the computer that you're watching this on, or your cell phone or whatever, none of that is possible without oil and gas. And people will tell you there's alternatives. Anybody that tells you that, ask them what the alternatives are, and give me their phone number, because I will invest in whatever magic mushrooms they're smoking, because there is no way for us to recreate the life and the world that we have here now without oil and gas. So anybody that tells you there is, they're talking garbage. Can't be done. You can't even make a cell phone without oil and gas. You see these people, yeah, I'm going to drive my electric car, I'm going to save the world. You're not saving the world, you're just moving the pollution from one place to another. Actually, if all the vehicles that are in the world were actually using lithium, there's only actually enough lithium in the world to run 28% of everything that you actually need. And then 8 years later, when it's all depleted, because it's extremely difficult to reprocess and what have you, and actually reuse, 8 years later, now you have an entire planet full of vehicles. Nothing can move, people can't move. Hey, I know what, let's go back to the internal combustion engine. Hey presto, that works, doesn't it? Yeah, that's worked fine for years and years and years, and will continue to work fine for years and years and years to come. The fuel source may change. I suspect that we might see electro hydrogen. That wouldn't be at all surprising. I fully expect to see that. Hydrogen's very, very prolific. People will tell you it's extremely hard to make. It is not. It all just comes down to there's more money at the moment to be made out of oil and gas straight out the ground than breaking up the hydrocarbons into hydrogen, once it's profitable to do so. Environmental concerns don't really have anything to do with the environment, sadly. What you'll find any of that stuff has to do with is profitability. If it's profitable, people will make it happen. If it's not profitable, it ain't going to happen. So I am going to cut down across this way. This building down here is the Chinese Cultural Centre. This is an absolutely amazing building in Calgary. Unfortunately, all this environmental stuff, people could make a huge difference. We could literally obliterate 30 to 40% of all the garbage that we are producing, and emissions and all that. 30 to 40%, real easy. Don't have to change anything whatsoever. All you have to do is waste less. 30 to 40% is what goes to waste. That's it. And the energy companies, they're not going to help you save energy. They want you to buy as much energy as you can. All these packaging companies and all that kind of stuff, they have no interest in cutting back on anything, because the more they sell, the more money they make. So you'll find a lot of this environmental, that could actually be solved just by wasting less. We waste so much in our society. Every society wastes, you know, absolutely insane. So that is downtown Calgary. This is the Chinese Cultural Building here. I'm not sure if this is open today. Calgary does have a drug habit problem, and it really needs to be addressed because it's becoming a big problem. Downtown, I didn't do any video down through the middle of downtown. There are a lot of people sleeping on the streets. There is a lot of drug activity on the streets. The city is trying to curtail that as much as possible. However, it's, again, you've got to have the political will to do it, and I'm not 100% convinced that there is the political will to do it. So it can be fixed. Unfortunately, it's no good continually beating up on these people. You know, some of these people have mental health issues, all kinds of issues, but you can't just lump everybody into the same pot and say, hey, yeah, well, this is what you need to do. The city could do a lot more than it does. I'm absolutely convinced it could, but it doesn't, because again, it's about profitability. If it's profitable, they'll do it. People need to get their heads out of the continually need to make money thing, and realise that some things need to be a service, not just a money making thing. The world will be a better place, I can tell you. That's a nice fence along there. I do like that fence, that's nice. Right, so let's head around this way, and I'll do some more pictures up over Centre Street Bridge. Right, looks like people have got up now. traffic's starting to build up. It's all greened up down through the park, which is very nice. All up through here. This is a slow plod back up the hill now. Well, he is here coming down this hill, then he's going back up it. Right, I have to do this shot. That's what I often do. It's nice when it's all greened up, eh? Very nice indeed. I was going to take the stairs, but nah, I'll take the easy way for now. This is a bit of a slower plod. It's not as steep. Stairs are a bit of a pain at the moment. Called a, what is that? Hip flexor, knee flexor, some kind of flexor. Pain in the leg flexor, I can tell you that much. Yeah. That's a nice view from there. Done this view along here many times. And I've no doubt, hopefully, I should do it many more times. Yeah. Done that as a fence a few times along there. That's nice. I need to do another time lapse here. I did a sunset one just the other side of the road there. I need to do a sunrise one. Only trouble is this time of the year I'd have to get down there up at 3-4 o'clock in the morning. I'm usually up at 4 every day, so that's not too much of a problem. Right. I will use that as a closeout picture.